Do you love made-for-TV movies? We sure do. We always have. In 30 years of friendship, we've laughed, cried, diagnosed, and obsessed over every made-for-TV movie we could get our eyes on.
Did you know that most made-for-TV movies are about amazing people who have risked their lives to change the world?
We'll be taking you through the last 60 years of some of the most powerful stories. We'll see what's changed and what's exactly the same.
We also love a nice synthesizer and a sweet satin blouse. And we think you will too.
I'm Steph.
I'm Liz.
And this is
No One Would Tell, Except Us podcast.
Welcome to another episode of No One Would Tell, Except Us. Happy 2026. I'm Steph.
I'm Liz. Happy 2026.
And happy 2026. So this is the first episode we're recording in 2026. So yes. Welcome to our second year of our podcast. And thank you again for all of your support. It has been a blast. It kind of went by quickly, don't you think?
Oh my gosh. Yes. It went by super fast. Like 1 minute, we're like, what are we doing? And then the next minute, here we are.
The next minute, we're like, what are we doing? But we have 13 episodes.
Mm-hmm. And just seeing like all the different people from all different countries, like actually listening is really, really, it's exciting. It's exciting to see. And someone sent us the nicest comment the other day. And, we don't get a lot of comments yet. And it was just so lovely. I want to give a shout out to her because she made my day. And I don't know, when she wrote in her comment, she was like, I'm all things Betty right now. And I'm like, you need to elaborate on that because that sounds awesome. Like, what is all things Betty? Do you have a Betty theme? Are you dressing like Betty? Are you preparing dinner like Betty? Are you, buying gold hoop earrings? Are you just watching her over and over again? I need to know what that means because I loved it. I was like, what's all things Betty? I want in.
Yeah. I'm like, are you talking like Betty? Are you acting like Betty? You know what I mean? I want to know you. So
yeah, I do.
Pretty pumped. Thank you. Thank you to all of our listeners.
Yes.
So we have a full year of movies ahead. We're super excited. And we are kicking off this year with Men Don't Tell from 1993.
Mm-hmm.
And we will get into our synopsis, but very quickly, this has Queen Judith Light in it. So we kind of knew it would be a doozy before we even watched it because she is just someone that I personally kind of define this genre with and by. So Liz, if you want to dive in and give a little summary.
Sure. So Men Don't Tell, I don't think it is based on any true story. I think it's just a story to bring to light spousal abuse. But in this case, it's actually a wife abusing her husband, which I think we can safely say even in 2026 is not something that is prevalent in like what people talk about. It kind of seems in the beginning like they have this perfect marriage, quote unquote. They have 2 kids and he works a blue collar job, but he seems to be doing well. And she's a stay-at-home mom. She's kind of resentful though. Like she's kind of at the point, I think, in motherhood where she's feeling suffocated and she's kind of like, I want to go back to school. I want to work. Like I want to do something for myself and also outside of the home, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally a normal feeling. And she just never thinks that he's good enough. Like she makes that pretty clear from the start. Like he doesn't make enough money. He's the one that's causing her pain because he's always out with his friends. Even though all of this, there's some truth to what she says, but she also twists it a lot to her benefit. She just tries to find ways. She tries to find what she thinks are flaws in her partner so that she can get enraged and take out her rage on him. And she does. And she starts to just more and more just attack him. And then after the attacks, she makes it seem like it's his fault. And he he's not a perfect man, but he's definitely in my eyes a good husband, and he doesn't fight back. I mean, his wife is beating on him, and he's just kind of protecting himself because he's a larger man. He definitely, could hurt her, and they have this tumultuous relationship. He's not telling anybody because he's embarrassed by it. Also, like, he doesn't really think people are going to believe him because of the way he's the man. Like, it's just kind of not. You don't think of a man getting beat up by their wife. And so finally they, keep going back and forth. She does some pretty deplorable things, or horrible things. And what's the word? I can't think of the word.
Deplorable.
Deplorable. Yes. I was like, what am I saying? Deplorable things. And like,
you got
horrible.
there.
It's not even a word.
Horrible.
So horrible. I'm going to make that into a shirt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. So anyways, so they finally like have it out after Christmas. Like, it's like a big fight, and they kind of separate, but then they decide to get back together, and she gets mad at him again. She accuses him of cheating throughout the relationship. Finally, what breaks the straw is the little girl, their daughter, comes down the stairs and she's like, Mommy, stop. Like, stop being mean to Dad. And she's like, you never talk to me like that. I'm your mother. And then she like freaking slams her kid, like slaps her across the face. And that's when the dad was like, you don't ever touch the kids. Like, then he starts, kind of tossing around his wife because she's still going at him. And they end up like breaking through a window. She's unconscious. She goes to the hospital. He gets accused with attempted murder, and they're like, you better hope she doesn't die because then it'll be murder. And then finally the daughter is kind of what ends the accusations because she comes in, she confesses to the grandfather, no, Mommy is the one that beats up Dad. And so she tells the policeman, and they're going to charge her. And at the end, they see each other at a wedding, and she's just like, you moved out. And he's like, yeah, no kidding. And she's like, where's the kids' stuff? And he's like, listen, I'm going to protect my kids at all costs. If you want to go get help, then I'll be around. But if you don't, then this marriage is over. And she pretty much is like, I didn't do anything wrong. And so that's how they leave it. And he moves on, and she's just kind of standing in the back. It was a very, very good movie. I know that's a long synopsis, but I really enjoyed this one. I didn't find it hokey. I mean, there's some funny parts, obviously, because it's the 90s, but I thought it was really relevant and extremely well acted. Peter Strauss, I believe, is the husband. And
Peter Strauss.
Yeah. Isn't he in a lot of other made-for-TV movies?
He's been in quite a bit, like The Last Tycoon, Nick of Time, Soldier Blue, Operation Finale. Like, he's definitely been around. And then it's like Judith, like, I don't even think we could name a fourth of what she's done.
Yeah.
A
lot.
Most notably, probably Who's the Boss, right? All right. So we open, and there is some very foxy music going on. Like, I was like, oof. Yeah, it was stinging me. It was very effective. And again, you see, Judith Light, Peter Strauss, you're like, ooh, this is going to be good. And we kind of start with the very, very fancy wedding. Like,
yes,
I don't know if weddings like this are done anymore. This was like very like old European style, like waltzing around the wedding. And I was like, is this a Christmas show? Like, what's going on? Like, it's some kind of crazy dance.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was like a very opulent,
yeah, I thought the same thing too. I was like, especially for like the 90s, I'm like, this is kind of more like 2000. And I feel like weddings became more of a production than just like, where people would maybe have a hall or like, something simple. But this is like, yeah, they even had, I noticed on the ceiling, like they had it draped and everything like that. And I'm like,
yes.
Oh my gosh, like who did that? And like, I have to assume this was like the 70s when they got married. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she had like a straight up like satin wedding gown, and I wrote like fancy streamer type decor, and they're just dancing it up, and it's like very celebratory, and it's like, what could possibly go wrong?
I
And
know.
then,
But didn't you love how they turn their waltz where they're like spinning around and then all of a sudden it's like pans and it's the sirens of a cop car? I was like, what a transition, people. That is art. Yeah. That is art right there.
Wrong transition. I was like, okay, something has gone terribly wrong. Also, juxtaposition, the house is decorated for Christmas. I mean, tragic. That's just always a tragedy whenever there's a siren around Christmas decor.
But can we not say that probably, I bet a lot of domestic things happen around Christmas because everybody's on edge, especially when you're hosting. Like, I kind of was like, I even wrote in my notes later, I'm like, why does everyone fight after a Christmas holiday? Like, why does everyone, like when you're cleaning up, be like, I'm going to kill you? Because you're just like, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, you're just mentally done.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like they didn't even celebrate Christmas, right? Like they didn't even have a chance because things just went really wrong. So the house is decorated and then there's like, you know, a stretcher, yikes. And like the husband's like, ooh, snap, this is not good. And the kids are like, Dad, what's going on? You know?
Yeah.
So he gets in the car with the kids. They're both in the front seat.
No
love
belts.
It. Just
no
love it.
Seatbelts.
Yeah.
I wrote that too. I'm like, no seatbelts. Hop on. What a time to be alive. Freedom at last. Right? You know, you
just get in the car and let's go. You know?
No car seats. No boosters. Like, just get in and go.
There's not even like an annoying little alarm that's like, put your seatbelt on, you know? Like, it's just like,
nothing. I was like, is he going to get out of the front of the car and like put the antenna up so they can get the radio? Like, it's just like, let's go.
Yeah. So again, shout out Harry Weiner. Thank you. Thank you for directing this film. Thank you. So, okay. Then, Peter Strauss, what is his name in this movie? Because that's going to get annoying.
Oh, Alan.
Alan. Okay. So Alan drives to his dad's house, who's like, what's going on? Like, there's no cell phones. What's happening? Like, they have no idea they're even coming. Imagine that, right? Yeah. And he's like, oh, Dad, like Lori's, you know, there was an accident. And, you know,
that's a good impression. I liked that. Oh, that was good.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, horrible accident. So it's like, obviously they're, you know, men of a certain time. So like they don't actually want to talk about anything that's actually happened. It's just like, here's, you know, my kids. Yeah. And these Christmas lights aren't saving anyone. You know what I mean? Like it's done. So then he's with Alan's with cops and, you know, they're like, we need to question this guy. Like he's under arrest. Like he almost killed his wife. I do love the lighting in the interrogation room. Like the lighting is very dramatic in this movie.
It looks like they're like, though, like in a penthouse in New York City at some point, because how many windows are in an interrogation room like that? Like most interrogation rooms, you're in like a cell block with maybe one of those like two-way mirrors because it's like they don't want you to be distracted or looking outside. This one, I was like, you know what? You could hang out here. This is pretty snazzy. Like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, not too shabby. It was like a lounge, you know?
Yeah. It's pretty the cops like, tell us the truth. And they're all like, the cops, terrible acting. They're just like, tell us now. Oh. You hit your wife. It's like, oh my gosh, calm down.
So then we have like our first flashback, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And he is like coming home. It's daytime. There's like, the house is decent, but there's like weird dark parts on the roof. Like, I don't know what is happening. Like there's no solar panels going on.
Yeah, no, definitely not. If anything, they were like spraying hairspray into the ozone layer and being like, this'll help.
Right.
But like, because it's like the 90s. But like, yeah, I noticed that too. I'm like, this is not the house I expected him to drive home to. Not because if you have a blue collar job, like, I mean, my husband's in manufacturing, but like, it's just more kind of like, oh, this is better than how these movies usually go. I expected like something kind of small and like just nothing, you know, it was actually kind of a nice house. And inside, there's so much like wood trim and like nice banisters. And I was just like, even in my head, I'm like, that's the perfect banister for movies like this, where you're gonna like just boink their head off of it. It's like I'm just waiting for somebody to hit their head
Like
in the corner, you know?
Yeah, like in Unforgivable.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Was it the same house? It almost looks like it.
You've got to have a solid house with good bones for these like domestic violence
That's
movies.
true.
I mean, that's just what's happening.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, the house was like, odd, but nice-ish.
Yeah.
And he comes home and there's like a surprise party and he's, not thrilled about that.
No.
Which I think is pretty common. I mean, I don't know how many men are like, yes, celebrate me. Like, it's my birthday.
True.
Right. So then I noticed that one of the kids are cute, right? And one of the kids is Ashley Johnson. Did you recognize her?
I knew her face immediately and I couldn't think of where I knew her from. But I'm like, you've been in a lot of things I've watched.
Yes. So she was in Growing Pains. I think that was like her very first foray.
Thank you. Yeah.
And she was in, I'm looking at a few others, Roseanne.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
9 months, Wings, Jumanji, Anywhere But Here. I mean, yeah, she's a pro. So I was pretty excited to see her face.
Yeah.
And then I actually texted you and I was like, we are doing this movie because the grandma, Judith Light's mom, is the evil grandma from Kindergarten Cop. And I was like completely blown away because Kindergarten Cop is like in my top 10, as you know.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that grandma is like one of the most terrifying characters of all time. Like, not in this movie, but in that movie.
Yeah, but she's horrible, like a horrible mother in this movie, though. I mean, she's like some of the reasons why, Cindy, the person that abuses her husband, kind of abuses. Oh, man, that's a good catch.
Yeah, I was like thrilled. I don't think you understand because her name's Carol Baker. I haven't seen her in anything else but Kindergarten Cop. And just like her whole like, where's my grandson? Like, it just really had an effect on me. So I was just like really excited. She's the reason we're reviewing this right now. So, anyway, Alan is, very humble. He's very modest. And, Judith Light seems very loving. Like, she seems like a very loving, doting wife. And she's like, I did this for you. And she gives him a gift, and it's a video. And it's like,
where did she cut that video? Like, I was like watching it because it's like the kids when they're little, when they're married, they're holding signs. And I'm like, how did they make this? There was nothing to edit.
No, there wasn't. I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, because I don't know what year this is supposed to be, but like, yeah. I mean, it's a horrible video, but yeah, there wasn't really any tools. So, who knows? She could have had an editing deck in her basement. We don't know. We don't know that much about her. So
that's true.
She gives them the video. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's so nice.
Yeah, because it's just like, Daddy, we love you. They're like holding the signs, and like one of the kids has it like upside down. They're like, oh, like it's very like, everyone's like, this is the cutest family ever to live. And like everyone's having a good time, and it's just like so sweet. And okay, their smooch in front of their family, like Alan and Cindy's smooch, I was like, jeez. I mean, I don't know. Like, it was like way too long, way too open, lots of tongue. Like, it was just like, this is, this is not going to fly.
It was a lot. It was a lot. And then there's a joke about them conceiving their kid at the Starlight Inn.
Oh my gosh. I just don't think at a family surprise party I'd be divulging that much information. Like, I would just be like, like, could you imagine your sibling saying that? Wouldn't you be like, yikes, so we gotta go? Like,
yeah, I'd be a little uncomfortable for sure. So then I wrote, like, one of Alan's friends is like, is he like touching her pubic bone? Did you see this?
No.
It's like a side hug. but he's like kind of like touching the pubic. I'm like, okay, that's a
Wait,
little
on Cindy?
much.
On Judith Light?
Yeah, like it's like a hug, you know, but then it's like, yeah, I was like, oh, that's an interesting
Oh my
place
gosh.
for your hand. Yeah. So then Cindy tells Alan, you know, that he has to go to the store.
They're out of soda.
And
They're out of soda. They need soda.
they're out of
Bad.
soda. That
Who
is bad for a
throws a
party.
surprise party and runs out of soda? Like, come on,
I don't know.
Cindy. Like,
I could see
that's-
myself doing that, but
No way. Like, I could see ice, right? Like, sometimes you just don't know how much ice to get because, like, that can be hard to store. But, like, soda? No way.
yeah. I
No
did
way.
run out of ice too at the birthday party. I'm like, I've got a lot of Cindy in me, you know? All right. So she tells him to go to the store and he works at like a shipyard. This whole town, I tried to look up where it's supposed to be and it's not really supposed to be anywhere, but we know there's like a lot of metal, a lot of water, a lot of shipyard industrialness going on.
Yes, it definitely feels
More
like
so
they
than a
live-
lot of like towns in movies like this.
Yes, I would say it's like some sort of small village or town, like on a like in Washington State, like a port. Like that's the feeling it gave me. Maybe the East Coast, but it's definitely like they know the water. Like they're almost like, hey, sailormen. Like that's kind of the like it's like everybody's like blue collar, but like doing
Yeah.
all right. Like it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just kind of like that's the vibe.
Yeah.
Of that.
It was very much like that. Like I was like, okay, there is not a white collar job for 200 miles. Got it. Like this, like we understand. Like it was like it was like very like metal. Like it was just like very like
Yes.
dramatic.
Everybody works at the one like salmon cannery. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like this is the place where you work and this is the port and like everybody lives off the port. Like it's just kind of like
Yeah.
that's how it was. Yeah, for sure.
Right. So he brings his daughter and he's like checking in on work when
Yeah.
he's supposed to be at the store. And so that just tells us that it's like he always has to like have work on his mind. Like he feels very like responsible for
Yeah, because it's like a
providing.
Saturday, and like I mean, in manufacturing, usually most manufacturers 24/7. And I was like, I could totally resonate with this scene because I'm like, in the past, I totally would have been like John because truly, like in manufacturing, like anybody that knows when you're like kind of climbing up, you're working really crazy hours, like because you know things just don't stop because it's Saturday, like. Things just
No,
get made.
no.
So I was like, oh, yeah, that would have been Elise in the bar.
Yeah, I thought that would be Elise too. So, so then Lori's still, you know, at the house, obviously, and now she's into the beer because she's like, you know what? There's no soda. We're drinking beer.
She's getting
And-
angry, not even worried.
Yeah.
She's getting mad because she feels like she looks bad in front of her guests. But like, yeah, Lori she does not like to look bad in front of anybody, and especially not in front of her mother. And she makes reference to that multiple times throughout the film in very small ways. But her mother's judgment of her and her mother's opinion really, really matters. So I think she threw this party. She was probably already one, mad at herself for not having enough soda. And then two, like her mom already, like, so she starts drinking because that's how she copes. And
Right.
the mom, her mother, the grandmother, the mean mom from Kindergarten Cop is like, kind of looking at her but doesn't say anything, but she's also like, I think there's times where Lori tries to offer her mom like an hors d'oeuvre and her mom's just like, I don't want that, you know, like she's very nothing's good enough for the grandmother. And so Lori now is really feeling like embarrassed and just like getting angrier, like where is he? It's been like an hour, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, with no cell phone and stuff like that, like I think my first response would be worry, like is everything okay? But she's just pissed.
Well, yeah, she clearly has like a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's very angry. So then Alan has to go to an ATM and he gets approached
Which is like
by a guy.
but where's that ATM? Like it looks like it's at like a hot dog stand off the pier. Like
I know. I'm like, where is this place?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So he gets approached, and it's interesting because like the guy, wants to rob him, and he like handles the guy, like he like beats up the guy.
Oh,
So
yeah. He
it's
throws them.
right. So obviously that scene is in there to be like, he's a man, like he can take care of himself. Like he is
Yeah.
not, like he will defend himself.
Especially in front of his children. I think that was what I noticed the most, was like he saw his kid in the car and he was like, oh no, I'm not getting attacked because I'm not leaving my kid here.
No.
So he just like went into total protective mode. And then I thought it was really important that he said to her, what I did was stupid. Like, if someone approaches you and they want your money, just give it to them because your life is not worth things. I don't know why I did that. But sometimes as a parent, when you're just protecting, you're not thinking straight. You're just there to protect. So I thought that was a really good, he's tough, but he's like level-headed, right? Like his mind is like in the right place.
Yes. He's not like a bonehead. Like he's not like a tough guy caveman. Yes, you're right. That was like a really good differentiation. So I wrote they get a log of pop, which I think what I mean is like just those cases.
Like the pack where you like open it. Yeah. A log.
So they get a log of pop and they get back and Lori is pissed. Like she is done. Like she's pissed.
She threw the whole cake in the sink. I was like, Lori,
yeah, and I was like, girl, that is that crunchy buttercream that I love. Yeah.
Who throws an entire cake in the sink? How are you going to get through that? You're just going to have to pick it up and throw it out anyways. Was it ice cream cake? Like, I didn't understand that part. Who does that?
I don't know, but I take great offense to anything like that against a cake. So I was not happy with that. Then, did you notice they sing Old MacDonald like on the birthday, like for a birthday? They were singing Old MacDonald.
Yeah, they did that when he came in. They're like, for he's a really good man. Na, 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 na. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah, because like happy birthday, you can use like it's, like you can use happy birthday.
That's like the one song.
Yeah.
So did they have to pay for the rights to E-I-E-I-O? They're like, this is in the budget. Like we're going to be crazy, guys.
Yeah, that was an odd choice. So yeah, the cake thing, that was rough. And then the guy is just like, let's just try to like, he basically like something like this has happened before, right? So it's like he is like
Alan?
in smooth things over mode.
Yeah, because she's like, where were you? It's been an hour. And he's just like, the store was busy. Like, I was in line. So he lies, but I think he's lying just because, which is wrong, but he's lying because he's like, I don't want to piss her off even more and her make a bigger scene.
Right.
But he's just like, the line was long, Lori. Like, I'm sorry. Here's the soda. Like, you did a great job. Let's just enjoy the party. And she's just like, there wasn't soda for over an hour. Like she's just kind of looking for reasons to be angry, and she sucks it back in to like sing E-I-E-I-O, but like you can tell like she's raging. Like she's mad.
Yeah. She's raging. And I mean, we do learn during that time too that she is in school and going to work, which like they're telling us so that we understand that like that does suck in terms of like having to take care of things. Like there's a lot of exposition, like there's a lot of setup so that they are trying to explain the situation to us. So they're mistaking that this is just not going well. So the daughter has a bad dream, right?
That night, she has a bad dream.
Yeah, spills the beans, like tells the mom how it was so scary and dad was attacked. And Lori's really upset because she's like, don't take my kids to job sites. And
which I mean in some ways like I'm kind of like I understand where she's coming from, because job sites, like especially wherever they work, which looks like a tuna fish cannery, like you know what I mean? Like I think the daughter was wearing actually like a hard hat. Like I think I remember that. Like it wasn't just like she was like playing on the machines, but like I agree with her. It's also like where is this plant? Because if that's where the ATM was, maybe it's like the bad part of the cannery. Like, I don't know, like that's the part of town we
Yeah.
don't go to. But I kind of understood how the mom was like, also like, it's Saturday. I'm throwing you a party and you're going to go to
Right.
work. Like, can you give it
Right.
a rest? Like, we're
Right.
supposed to be just go get the soda and come back. So I kind of understood her anger. Like, it wasn't like she was completely off base.
Well, that's the thing. And like, again, there wasn't like, we have to remember that now there's so much communication about how it's hard for moms and dads. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much, like, there's so many resources. Like, there's social media, like, everyone can commiserate. There wasn't anything like that, like,
Yeah.
at all. So if it sucked for you, it's like you were on your own. And if you talk to somebody about it, a lot of times, like, I think there was a lot of judgment. So it's
Yeah.
not any, excuse making, but we just have to understand like the time. Like, it was the early 90s. Like, you weren't really allowed to be like, this is too much, or this sucks, or this doesn't work for me, like, at
Yeah.
all. So,
Yeah.
um, so this is the first incident. Like, she slaps him hard, like,
Yeah.
very hard.
Yes. I was like, what a hand. I was like, that wasn't just like, I'm mad at you. Like, she, I think, twirled a little bit into it. Like, she like planted her feet and like half
Yeah,
cocked
there
her
was a
arms.
spin.
Like, there was a wind up. Yeah. Like, it was like, whoa, Lori, good grief.
Right. And her dress matched the bedspread. Did you see that?
Oh, no. Satin on satin. What's going on here?
Yeah. It was like that, like, mauvey, pinky, floral.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I was like, this is like this took a turn. So
Yeah.
then Alan goes downstairs and his dad and his friends are still there, and he's like, Lori just punched me, and they, start laughing.
Right.
Yeah.
I really am so glad they included that scene because he obviously was like totally taken aback and was like confessing something. And their reaction is, I think, what silences him because he's just like, oh, I look like an idiot. Like, I look unbelievable. And also, like, my wife is beating me up. I think there's a lot of shame in that. Like, I think naturally people are like, how could a wife beat up a husband? Like, even when I was telling John about this movie, he was like, what? Like, how is that possible? And I'm like, well, it is because if the husband chooses not to fight back, I mean, in most cases, if a man chose to fight back, don't you think they would probably overpower the woman unless the woman is like jacked?
That's why it's so unbelievably like heinous, because it's like these men don't believe it because these men are like, how is she still alive then? Like,
True. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, that's the only reason. Like, anybody could hit anybody. Like, it's not
Right.
even like, but it's like, how did you let that happen as a man?
Right.
And how is she okay still because she
Right.
did that to you? So
Right.
it's more like baked in. Like, it's like, oh, like, men are just like, that would never happen to me because I would take care of it if it did. And
Right.
that's pretty alarming.
I think that though, like if I were to start hitting John, and I meant
Yeah.
it, 'cause I hit him,
Yeah.
but like I don't mean it.
Yeah.
Like we're playing
Sure.
around, but like I
Right.
mean, like, but like if I was like really hitting him,
Yeah.
I don't think he would hit me back. But I think he would definitely be like, "You're a freaking psycho," and like lock me in a room. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's like hard because, again, like it's not as common. So
Right.
I don't think men even would know how to deal with it in a lot of ways.
I guess his response is actually the most loving because he could definitely kill her. I mean, he could shut her up easily. He's not weak and he's not like he's very like, he's muscular. So I'm just like he really responds in love and patience. I mean, and also to the detriment of himself because he shouldn't be in that situation. What she did to him was completely wrong and she needed to be held responsible. But yeah, that is really hard. That is such an odd position to be in. And I don't even know today if I wouldn't react the way that his friends reacted. Because I think it's natural to be like, there's no way a woman could overpower a man in this situation. I just don't think that I would be like if Eric came in, my brother, and was like, Kinga hit me, I'd be like, well, what did you do? Like, that would be my natural response. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
I think the only reason I wouldn't maybe be that way is just because we watch so many of these movies. Like, so I would know that it could.
True.
But
I mean, that's
it's
true.
definitely. And culturally too, like even when, he tells the cops, like they're skeptical, which is like, okay, so law enforcement's skeptical if it happens to a man, but they're also skeptical if it happens to a woman. Like, there's
for
just
real
like
though.
a cultural thing that it's just like, we don't believe you one way or another. So I don't know how anyone's supposed to really make inroads, because it's like, if it's a woman, you did something.
Yeah, it is definitely cultural, because if you were in public and someone just hit you, they're getting arrested. It's like, oh, well, they were attacked.
Right.
But if your spouse attacks you, there's something about like marriage where it's like, well, that's different. And it's like, but that's still somebody hurting somebody, But that's not how we think.
Yeah. No. And I
That's
think we talked maybe in Tracy Thurman about how it's like, in public, it's a problem because if you are disturbing commerce, that is an issue. But at home, it's like really not. So yeah. So, okay, he's like super embarrassed. He doesn't want to say that she abused him. And the cops are like, well, was it an accident or not?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's just
when they
messed
flash
up.
back to him like talking about this. Yeah.
Right.
They're just like, he's just like, I don't know. She just hit me. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we see, I guess it's the next day, and she's like, it's like the self-hatred. Like, she's like, I'm fat, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, shut up. And then he's like, you look fine. Like, you're sexy and beautiful. And she's like, shut up, and she's like getting ready, and she's like putting on makeup, and there's just like that morning chaos going on that is in, every movie and every household in America that we have ever seen. And so this is the kids' first day of preschool. One of the kids' first day of preschool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like that kind of anxiety as well.
Yeah. So they like go together to drop him off, which is like cute. And then the teacher's just like, well, it takes a while for kids to like get settled here. So maybe you could stay with him for a couple of days before. Now, that's really interesting, because when I had Elise first start preschool, I would have loved that opportunity. Like, I asked them, like, she's really shy. Like, can I just like stay in the classroom for a couple of days just to show her it's okay? And they were like, no. Absolutely not. Like, you drop her off and we take her, because we find actually it's worse for kids to have their parents there, because they won't like separate you from school, and they need to just know that they're okay. So like, if there's a problem, we'll call you, but like, you just need to trust us that we handle this all the time. And they're right, because when I was a kindergarten aide, there was a girl that came every day crying every day. And I would always say to the mom, if she's not done in 10 minutes, I'll call you. And then literally 10 minutes later, she was laughing with her friends. So some kids just have that separation anxiety, and then they just need to kind of be veered into an activity and they're fine. But like, I thought that was like, I'm like, that must have been an old school way, because like they would never do that now, I think.
No.
But she's just like, you should stay with her. And then so they leave because the kid's like upset. And she's just like, what am I going to do? Like, stay here for the next 3 days? Like, so what? No, they're like, she says some kids it takes up to 6 weeks, which, okay. Could you imagine being at your kid's preschool for 6 weeks? I'd be like, you better start paying me, because like, this is a job.
The thing. That's the thing. It's like, that's a lot. And she's pissed because it's like, she has a job and, she's trying to do school. And, she's like, Ellen, you're not home. Like, and we're broke, and it's just like, that's, it's a lot of like stress.
Right. And so he's like, well, why don't you leave she's like, when am I going to work? And he's like, well, why don't you leave the kids with your mom? Like, she could watch them. And that's when she says, oh, I'm going to leave the kids with my mom so she can tell him everything that he does wrong, that my son does wrong, like she did with me. Like, I'm not going to, which, okay, that's a good side of Lori. Like, she's trying to protect her child from like the mental abuse that she endured from her own mother. But it's just like, you're right. She just feels, she's suffocating. That's how she feels.
Right.
She's suffocating. She feels like I'm the one that's going to have to be there for the kids. You are always at work. I'm the one that has to put my dreams on hold, my job on hold, everything. Well, you can gallivant around when he's just like, dude, I'm just trying to like pay our bills.
Right. Right. And then he looks at a woman across the street. Oof, that was dumb.
Okay. Yeah. That was so rude. I mean, okay, they're in the car, they're hashing it out, and some little like 18-year-old girl with like, cute girl walks across the street, and he's like not just checking her out, he's glued to her butt. Like he is ogling her and not listening to his wife, because his wife is like, I just need some time away with you. Like, all I need is a date night. Like, can we just like next Saturday, like I'll get a sitter, we can go to the movies, we'll get the kids a pizza. Like, we just need time together. And he's just like, huh? And he's like, okay, whatever you want, Lori. And she knows. He's like staring at this like young girl. And I'm like, okay, you're allowed to think people are attractive, but like you're gonna ogle a woman like in front of your wife when she's upset.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That was not good. And then it's like the next scene, it's like they're supposed to like have a date, and he's like playing poker.
Well, right, because he didn't hear her in the car. He was too busy checking that girl out. So he's at poker night, and he's like in the middle of a game where he's like, wait a minute. Ding, ding. I'm supposed to be with my wife, I think. If I call her, surely that will smooth things over, which I'm like, buddy, you should have left 2 hours ago. Like, you should be running home, not calling. You should be running home.
Like, at this point, don't go home at all. Ever again. Just get in your car.
Just get in your car and drive. Like, don't go back. Yeah. So he calls her and he's just like, she's like, where are you? You're supposed to be here. The kids were supposed to have a pizza. And he's just like, oh, shoot. Lori, I'm sorry. Like, I'm with the guys. It's only once a month, which, okay, that's fine. But he's like, it fell on the same night. And it's like, you messed up, pal, big time.
Yeah. And he honestly, like she, like canceled everything and sent the sitter home.
Babysitter, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know, like it's really, I think one of the things that's most impressive to me about this film is like they really like show you what's up. Like it's not like an excuse. It's just like,
this is going on.
This is really hard. This is really hard. Like there's a lot of context. It's not like completely just on him, and it's not just completely on her. And, it's really well done. Like it's very, very realistic, I thought.
Extremely. There's a lot of there's a lot of complexities, and it just shows like the breakdown of the marriage. It wasn't just like Lori overnight was like hitting her husband. I think I can say she probably was the type of woman who was always like, I need more, like, I want more, you need to work more. Like, she probably put like, oh, it'd be nice if we had this. Like, she was probably never a very satisfied woman, but I don't think that she was just like the way that she becomes. I think I think it's both of them. There's a lot, they're showing you the breakdown of the marriage for sure.
Right. So he comes home and like wakes her up after, yeah. And it's like, more dysfunction, basically. It's just kind of how they live. I mean, it's just like, you could tell it's like a pattern. Like,
yeah. Well, she just like ices them out, which I'm like, that's realistic, because that's what I would do. Yeah. Like, I'd just be like, I don't want to talk to you right now. Like, we could have talked all night. I just need to be left alone.
Yeah. So then, again, the next morning is chaos. There's like the kids like banging on stuff in the kitchen. The TV is on.
It's so loud in there.
It's so loud. And that's the thing. It's like, maybe just like turn off the TV. Like if it's chaotic, like let's just make the noise less.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And his solution is to come downstairs and have the kids and him make pancakes together, which, okay, That's cute. But Lori is exactly how I'd feel. I'd be like, you want to sit here and make pancakes together when one, we're running late, and
Right.
two, who's going to clean up the mess after?
Well, right. And also, he won't address last night. Like, he's
Right.
being avoidant.
Yes.
Like, he's
exactly.
like, let's just focus on pancakes. And she's like, you haven't even like apologized. Like, no,
Right.
like you have not owned what happened.
Yes.
And she's really upset. So she throws everything off the counter. And that was bad.
Yeah. I was like, Lori, you're going to have to pick up that Bisquick, girl. Like, that's all.
Yeah.
That's like flour. Like, that is not like a quick
That is
cleanup.
caked. That is caked. That is bad. And that's a lot of work. So the kids are like stunned.
Oh, I know. That part was, I hate when I see, they did a good job. They really did look stunned and they look scared. And I was like, my mom thankfully never acted like that. But like as a child, that would have been terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So basically, like, Alan's telling the kids, like, we have to be extra nice to mama. And, you know, then we find out, like, he's taking, like, a different position. And she's like, you don't even have enough time as it is. Like, you don't, like, you have time for everything but me.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously he's taking a position to, you know, provide more and do better for the family. But like, she obviously has needs that are not even really being acknowledged. And part of that's because she can't communicate without being violent. So it's more like cyclical, you know, toxic communication. So then her mother's over, right? And they're doing, I guess, a beauty shop session.
I don't know. She's just like putting plastic in places. It's bad. It's like slimy. Like, I'm just like, yikes, lady. Like, just go to the freaking cut and curl down the street. Like, I don't know what to tell you. This looks bad.
Yeah. I'm like, you ladies don't need to be playing with chemicals on your scalp at all, for sure. So then her mother is like, it's late, Lori. Are you sure he's at the lodge meeting? And it's like, lady, do you want her to kill her husband? Like, why are you saying that?
That's right. He starts helping with, like, I think Christmas charity preparations at the lodge. And that's another thing that Lori's like, oh my gosh, you have time for everybody else but me. And he's just like, dude, like, my dad is part of the lodge. He doesn't have many years left. Let me just go do these things.
Right.
You know, and she's just like, but yeah, her mom is the worst. Kindergarten cop lady. She stirs that pot and is just, she's just poking and poking at Lori like, oh, are you sure he's there? I don't know. It's been a long time. And it's already all the insecurities that she feels, just like someone confirming them. And so she's not only feeling angry now about that, but now she's feeling like insecure and she's angry at her mom. And it's just all these different emotions just piling on top of each other. And you can just see it in her face. Like, she's just like, I got to hit something because I'm going to lose my mind.
It's the perfect example. It's like her mom won't let her be herself, you know, or the granddaughter. And it's like one of those things where you're like, sometimes families like should just move away from each other. Like, sometimes people should not be in the same place for their entire lives.
That's
not everybody's meant.
Yes. Yeah. That's a very toxic relationship. And it would have been way better off having very little to none communication with her mom, unless her mom changes, because you have to guard yourself. And certain people, it's like, I need big boundaries with you. But I don't think that happens a lot in those relationships, because I think that the mom, I'm going to guess, would also then use guilt about Lori's children. You know, it's just like,
Well, and we learn,
But yet she's always at Lori's house. That's my point. It's like a weird, twisted thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like just the ingrained dysfunction. Like, nobody will ever change, but they're just going to keep sitting with each other and like, driving each other insane. So then we learn that Lori's mother and father hit her when she was growing up. And her mother's like, you exaggerate, which,
of course,
you know, sure. So then, as the night goes on, Lori's just like drinking more and more wine.
Yeah.
And
Like in the like chair,
when-
like by herself, like in the middle of the night in the bedroom.
then I was like looking around this house. It's like that house seriously would be like $2 million right now. Like that house is like
It's a nice
legit.
house.
Like,
Yeah, it's a nice
Yeah.
house.
I was like, okay. So then she comes home and he's in the shower and he's like all banged up. And it's from her hitting and kicking him the day before.
Well, right, but I thought she like attacked him in bed. Like, isn't that the part where like she's like in the room and like she's just like drinking and he's like sleeping and she just
Yes,
starts like
she has an episode.
Yeah, she just starts like he's like sleeping. I mean,
Yeah.
how vulnerable can you be? And she just like comes over and is just like beating him up. But yes, he kind of like defends her by like throwing her off of him and being like, "What is wrong with you?" And you're right.
Right.
That is the first time. And then yes, he's in the shower the next day and he's covered in bruises. I mean, she really wailed on him. And
Yeah.
he like comes out with his shirt off and like a towel around his waist. And like I wrote, she's like mesmerized by his bruises. Did you notice that? She was like staring
Yeah.
at them like, look what I did. It's like, that's not something to
Well,
be proud of,
and-
Lori.
Well, she's very possessive over him physically. Like
Yeah.
she is very like attracted to him. Like always.
Yes, they have a very like they're very like when they want to be together, it's like "Rah, let's go at it. And you're just like, really right now? But you're right.
Yeah.
She's very attracted to him. She's like in love with his bruises. And then he's just kind of like, Lori, like, you just beat me up, kiddo, like back off. And she's just like, I
Right.
can't live with you mad at me all the time. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, sweetheart, stop beating
Yeah.
him up. Like, and she's
Well,
like,
she's like, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, she's just like, help me.
Yeah. She's like, tell me what to do, basically.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's obvious. But it's like,
Right. Okay. True.
Yeah.
And so she uses sex definitely for manipulation. But that's what I wrote because I think it's safe to say that in most relationships and in most marriages, like as there is definitely, I think a lot of women can use sex as a weapon because I think that most men are going to be like ready and willing despite the emotional state than most women. I think for women, if you're in a bad emotional state, it's a lot harder to be like, yes, I want to be like intimate with you. I think with men, there's a lot more that they can push that aside. Not all men and not all times, but I think there's a lot easiness for them to push it aside and be like, okay, like this feels good. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like sex can sometimes with women be a lot more emotional. And if your mind is not in the right place, you're not necessarily going to be like wanting to be intimate. And I think with men, there's definitely an easier, like the physical kind of sometimes can outweigh the emotional. And I think that he was feeling like finally she's like touching me in a way that feels good. I feel desired. And also like she knows like this is a way that I can win him back to me. Like I can make him mine. I think it was used as manipulation. I don't think it was just like her being horny. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think she was like,
yeah,
I
do.
don't know.
I do.
Yeah.
I do think like, especially back then, it was more like men, regardless of an emotional state, like you said, are just like ready to go.
Yeah.
And I think like now it might be a little bit different just because the demands are so much higher, like with work and like there's like stress and there's like other things. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I still think it's probably like more so that way with men than women. But I think now what I'm saying is like, it's more normal now to just like say something like, oh, I'm feeling stressed, or like, oh, I'm feeling overwhelmed, whether you're a man or a woman. And I think back then it just wasn't. And so whatever was like primal is just what people kind of did. Like, right.
yeah.
Like, and for her too, I think she is manipulative, but I also think she's like, I know I can connect in this way. And
Absolutely. Yes. I
right.
can kind of like, that's what I mean. Like, she's like, this is one way that I can make things better and I can make it feel like we're connected without dealing with what actually happened. But in a way
Yeah.
that is manipulation without realizing it's manipulation, maybe because you're using something sacred and like between like love as but a physical love to cover up the real problem, and you're
Yes.
not dealing with what's going on at hand. And although like I think sex can be very healing in marriage, you really definitely needed to like look at what the problem was, because like no one's getting
Absolutely.
healed just by doing it, you know. But you're right, it's primal,
No.
and I think that men just naturally can be more primal, where women tend to be more emotional. And so I think that's why women can sometimes use that as a way to like smooth things out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
like that
Yeah.
becomes a tool of manipulation. But I agree with you. I think Lori was also trying to find any way to connect with him and say she's sorry. I think there was a lot of things going at hand, and I think this movie really hit it on the head. I think that
Yeah.
this is very, very realistic.
Well, because think about it. I mean, like, and again, I'm not making excuses for her at all, but it's like, what could she say to him that ever permeates? Like, what could she
Right.
say? Like, he doesn't receive anything she says because he's
Right.
in like provider mode.
True.
And to him, zooming out, anything he's doing that he thinks is going to benefit his family, he's
Is
just going to
good.
do. And
Right.
so to her, she's like, what can I possibly say? Like, and she's
Agreed.
damaged. So she's like, I'm going to like beat the crap out of you, which is like really on the flip side, what happens with a lot of men who beat women. They're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to communicate. I'm going to
Right.
like beat somebody.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
just very toxic. So she takes the kids to the holiday party at the lodge. Very lavish, by the way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, these
Wow.
cannery people like know how to do it up. Like I was like,
Yeah.
these are like events. Like who's your decorator? Like these are great. This is great.
Yeah. It's like this town does a lot of canning and some big parties. Like that is what's up. So he's there with Mary Lopez. And she gave him a gift.
Yes, it's like
And
a t-shirt, which is so benign. Like it's like literally an XL t-shirt. Like it's so
yeah,
not sexy, but like
no, it's not.
Lori walks in and she thinks for some reason Miss Lopez is like a 69-year-old grandmother and doesn't know
Right.
that she's like an attractive, 35-year-old. And
Right.
she's just like, sees him and be like, oh, and she's like, oh, it's just a little gift to say thank you. It's literally, isn't it like a t-shirt? Like it was something so
Yeah.
like
It's nothing.
nothing. Yeah, it's probably like a sponsored t-shirt that everybody got. And she's just like, oh, yeah, Alan's definitely bagging that hoe. Like she's just like, what? Like losing
Yeah.
her
She
mind.
loses it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's like, you're crazy. I'm like, ooh, Alan. That's a bad choice,
Gonna
buddy.
call a crazy person crazy. Like not a good
Yeah.
choice.
So she punches him, right?
Yeah.
And then
What's
this scene
up
was
with
not easy to shoot.
marriage?
Yeah. Yeah. This scene was like, whoa. So then, she drives away. He's running alongside the car.
Yeah.
She shuts the door on his arm and
On his-
smashes it.
and smashes his fingers, which is
Mm-hmm.
like so painful. Oh my gosh.
And like his livelihood, right? Like, doesn't he need his arms and hands for his job?
That is
Like,
very true.
so then she crashes into his truck and like keeps smashing it and like backing up and smashing it some more. The music's really eerie. It's like very intense.
I don't even know
Yikes.
what John would do if I did that. I truly don't know. Could you
Yeah.
imagine? I mean, I just don't
No.
even know. Like, I don't know what he would do. I really don't. I really, really, truly don't.
I
know
don't
what
either.
I would
I mean,
do if I saw John doing that. to my cars. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, we can't claim this. Like, we own both of them. Like, what do we
Right.
do?
Right. I mean, yeah, that was a really, really like absurd situation.
I think he would get me help. I think at that point he would be like, you're absolutely like need
Yeah.
some sort of medication because something's definitely not right in your head. Like, can we say that after that, Lori definitely needs medication and like be institutionalized for a little while? Like, she's not of sound mind, because that, not that the hitting part isn't, but like that was just so crazy, like off the
Yeah.
chain. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think I've seen that ever, like in a movie.
No.
So then Alan lies at the hospital about his hand,
Yeah.
and how that happened. And, his friend is like, you should not get a divorce, because you're probably gonna lose the kids. Like, it's like gambling. And back then, like, it was. I mean, like, men rarely got custody of kids.
I think that's still true today. I do. I think that overall, if a woman looks somewhat of sound mind, the judge is going to appoint her more time over the man. I really do. I think that.
Well, especially if cops don't believe anybody anyway. Like,
Right.
so,
Yeah. Yeah.
really
His
matter.
friend, who's like a lawyer, who I think Alan becomes the best man to his wedding or whatever, because that
Yes.
guy's always around. He's like a lawyer,
Yeah.
and he's just like, I don't know if I can be with Lori anymore. And he's just like, what? Lori's so like sweet. You guys are so in love. Like,
he's like, she's hot.
yeah, she's hot, and like it's so much debt, man. You think you're broke now? Like, if you get divorced, like, you're like gonna be in so much debt. You'll never see your kids. Like, all of these things, and he's just kind of like, okay, I'm stuck. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
What's my options? Nothing.
Well, yeah, a lot of people can't afford to get divorced.
Yeah.
It's a real thing,
Yeah.
and like, so yeah. Then I wrote, like, the filming on the water is really beautiful. Like, there's some really beautiful shots in this movie.
I agree. Yeah.
So kudos. So then basically it's like the system isn't set up for men, which we just talked about. And then it's like, okay, I might as well just like buy flowers, because flowers will fix everything all the time.
Yeah. His friend is like, if I were you, I'd just go and get Lori like a big old bouquet and take her out and woo her, and like your marriage will be fine. Like, you just
Right.
need to show her a little affection and she'll be fine. And it's like,
Right.
so he goes and buys an expensive, I guess, bouquet.
$50. It's $50. That's a lot of
That
money.
is a lot. Yeah.
And
Well,
the woman selling it is like, I'm sure she'll forgive you, which is
right.
like,
Yeah.
whoa.
And he's just like, yeah. Yeah. So he's sitting in, it looks like, the cafe/boob bar, because later they have their like booby party for the guy for his wedding there. But like, he's like, he's at the casino cafe boob bar, and he's just like, I don't know. Because it looks it looks like a hot dog stand. Everything's a hot dog stand there.
It is.
And he's just like, I thought he was like waiting for her, but he was actually
I did too.
Yeah, he was just like, she stood him up, like she had, like maybe he had asked her to dinner or something, but actually he's just contemplating giving her the flowers because he's angry. He's so angry.
Yeah.
Like, she's ruined both the cars. She's off her freaking rocker. She's beating him up. Nobody believes him. He's just like, he's pissed. So he takes the flowers and he like throws them in the garbage. And is this when she's at home, like ripping up all their like wedding photos?
So that's, I think, a tad later, because I think we have a flash forward where the cops are like, your truck is fine. And he's like, yeah, I had everything fixed. Like, I didn't file a claim. Like, I was embarrassed. Hello. And they're like, why didn't you tell someone? And he's like, I just told you why. Like, and they're like, we don't believe anybody anyway.
Right, but he was telling people, like, he like told his friend more or less, and his friend's like, don't get divorced. He tells them in the beginning, she hit me, and everyone's like, ah, ha, 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 ha. So he is just, you're right. He's just like, what do you want me to do? And he's right. How would you claim that accident? You can't. You bone both cars. Like, it's just, he got it fixed. He's like, you can go down to the freaking car shipyard and have them take a look. Like, I paid for it. So,
Right.
yeah.
And they're like, we all live in the shipyard anyway, so we'll just walk on down and take a look. So she's like, the kids and I want you to come home. And like, we can't take Christmas away from the kids. And like, she begs them to come home and they light up that house. Like, that house is like decorated to the hilt. Like, those Christmas lights are banging.
Yeah.
And when he comes home, that's when she's ripping up all the wedding photos. And like, she doesn't know he's coming. So she's like ripping them up. And then she hears him and she's like, oh, whoops. Like, all these wedding photos are shredded.
Who is taking out like a 9x12, an 8x11, and just going to town? Like, who and who stores all of those in a hat box underneath their bed? Like, who's just like, hold on, like, what is happening here? Like,
I know.
those are glossy. Like, those cost
Yeah.
a good amount of money, and she's just
Yeah,
like
they do.
ripping his face off of it. And
There
side
was no
note,
digital prints back then. That was
side note,
it.
Steph, you're gonna kill me, but Alan and Cindy are the kids. His name is Ed the entire time.
Love. Classic.
Yeah, so their name are Ed and Lori, and the kids are Alan and Cindy. So anytime we've said Alan, we really mean Ed. But I don't
We're
know.
going to see what AI can do. We're going to see what AI can do. So we're not talking about the tiny preschooler Alan the whole time. We're talking about Ed, just so everyone knows, in case we can't fix it.
I can't even think of deplorable. Like, am I alive? I don't know anymore. But yeah,
You're doing great, girl. You're doing great.
I'm doing great.
So, you're doing great. So the daughter, Cindy, is like, are you getting divorced? You know?
He's like, I wish.
And she's like, I don't like how mommy gets, but like, you know, I don't want to be away from her. I want
Yeah.
things how they were, you know? And basically it's like a whole discussion and, you know, she's like, just not Cindy, Lori's like, you know, just love me. And he's like, Ed is like, things were different without kids. And like, she's basically like, who cares? And they bang. So that conversation
is like over.
done.
Yeah. Okay. So they bang, but while they're banging, they pan over to the other side of the bed, and she supposedly was like picking up all the pieces of her evidence of like having like a friggin' photo fest. And
Yeah.
there's like the biggest wedding photo you could get. And
Yeah.
it's like ripped in half and still on the floor. What did
Yeah.
she be like afterwards? Like, oh, Laura, what have you been up to? Like, what is this?
I know.
It was like a poster sized picture
Yeah.
of them. I was like, how do you forget cleaning up that?
And I honestly was like, it took till now for her to even do that. Like, I would have thought those wedding photos would have been like gone already.
Oh my gosh,
right?
burned. Yes. But you
Yeah.
know what? She's not Betty. She's not Betty Broderick. So I guess there's
She's
just
not Betty.
different, there's different levels of insanity. And
Right.
I mean, but Betty
So-
never wailed on freaking what's his face. Betty never wailed on Dan. She just
No,
burned
she
his,
didn't.
She just burned his pants, and then killed him.
Yeah.
I don't know which
Right.
one's worse.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is interesting though. She wasn't like, she didn't hit any of them that we see in the
That
movie.
we see in
of
the
course.
movie. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So the cops are like, you know, in real time now, the cops are like, why did you beat her up? And he just like loses it. Like Ed just like loses it that they're even like asking him because he, you know, is like, nobody believes me this entire time. So we see a really nice Christmas scene. Again, the house is all decorated. I was really impressed. I feel very strongly about good Christmas decor, and they brought it.
They
and
did.
There's like all the food and the caroling and the fireplace and the tree. Like, it's just lovely.
Yeah.
And Lori's completely on edge at Christmas because her mom is bragging about like the kids who aren't hers, right? Like,
Yeah, like
other
her
kids.
siblings' kids, like her other grandkids who are not at the party and who are never in the movie and who it seems like they have a healthy boundary and never let the grandma see those kids, like ever.
Yeah. Right. Like, good call on that,
Yeah.
guys. And so Lori starts in on the eggnog, right? And then,
noggin.
yeah, she is noggin. And then she wants like everybody, you know, at the mistletoe, basically. Like, they're doing the whole mistletoe thing.
Oh my
And
gosh. What?
she and Ed straight up make out. And is he holding a cookie? I said they make out with a cookie. Is he holding a cookie?
I wish they made out with a cookie. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I don't know. There's so many open mouths at that scene that I don't even know
Yeah.
what's going on. Like,
Yeah. I was like, ooh,
I just,
okay.
I can't imagine doing that in front of my parents, my family. I just, no. When you mistletoe, it's because you're like giving a little, just a little schmeck on the lips. You're not like going to town, Lori, but she's like, no, that's not how I do things around here. So and everyone thinks
No,
it's like enchanting. Like
I know.
his lawyer slash, brother to be in law. I don't even know what he is. His friend is just like,
Yeah.
like he loves it. They all love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, his friend earlier in the movie, isn't he talking about like gambling and how his like fiance raises rabbits or something for money? Like, isn't there something about that? So we don't know what his sitch is,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
so okay, then she starts sorting the laundry on Christmas. How is that a good idea? Who, when is doing laundry on Christmas ever going to end well? When?
Well, that's what I wrote too. I was like, Christmas cleanup, perfect fighting time, because when you have young kids, like, and you also host, and then you got to clean up. It's like, then you got to get the presents out. You got to get to bed because the kids are going to be up at like 3 a.m. being like, did Santa come? And you're like, oh my gosh. So it's just like prime time. That's the worst time to do anything but what is necessary. Like, I agree with you. She
I
shouldn't have been
agree.
doing laundry. Like, there's just put it off till New Year. Like, no
Yeah,
way.
that was a bad plan. And so then she finds the receipt for the flowers.
Right.
And again, it's 50 big ones, which I mean, this is not the town that No One Would Tell is filmed in with the surplus of roses. This town has no flowers. So if you buy flowers, you're paying a premium. So she finds the receipt. She throws something at him in the kitchen. She like literally tears apart the house.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh, yes. She's throwing
yeah,
anything that's in her way. I mean, like
yeah,
everything off the mantle, off the piano, off the
yeah,
tables. She breaks the TV. Like
yeah.
she's ballistic, like crazy.
So she trips and really hurts her back badly.
Yeah.
Badly.
Mhm.
And the cops come because there was yelling and
Right. The
she,
neighbors call.
yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
they're like, it's effing Christmas. Like, can you give it a rest? Like, wow. She won't go to the hospital. She won't press charges. And the cops are like, we can't arrest, we can't arrest you unless we see you hit your wife. We can't arrest anybody. We can't do anything basically unless we're here to see it. So
You
it's
know
just
what?
like,
And that rang a bell because that's exactly the same excuse the cop used in Burning Bed. He's like, I didn't see you physically. Because she's like, aren't you going to arrest him in Burning Bed? And they're like,
yeah,
unless we see him put his hands on you, we can't just accuse it. Even though she was like completely beat up.
right, right.
Is
Yeah.
that like
It's
the
like,
law in the United States or is that just per state?
we don't know which state this is supposed to be in, but I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
it seems kind of like national, but I mean, we could be wrong, but this was the same time around Burning Bed
Yeah.
and Tracy
Yeah.
Thurman. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so you have to have a cop live with you so that they see everything all the
Right.
time. Okay.
Exactly. I know. Yes.
Yeah.
What a weird law. Hmm.
So the kids come down Christmas morning and the house is trashed. That was so tragic for me. Like that is so sad. Like
Yeah,
seriously.
they just want to get their like new little tricycle like out from like the Christmas
Yeah.
tree and like they're all excited to like see their presents, which boo-hoo to them. I mean, kudos to them. Like I can't believe they like slept through the night during that. Like I feel like I've been like, what the freak is going? Actually, no. Doesn't the daughter come down the stairs and kind of watch it? Like she does wake up. She
I
witnessed
think
some of it.
I thought she witnesses like the final thing.
You're
But
right.
I
Yeah,
could
you're right.
okay, yeah.
You're
So
right.
these kids are already they're probably like medicating themselves. Like they're like, where's the melatonin? Like, where's the stuff to rub on my foot so I go sleep? Like, where is the sound machine? Even though we don't have those in the 90s. So Ed's dad is basically like, what the hell is going on? And
Oh yeah, he comes over the next
yeah.
morning after all of this, and Lori's like, "Where is Lori at this point? Is she
So
just upstairs, or did she go to her mom's?"
I don't know where Lori is, to be honest. I
Yeah.
don't have any notes about where she is,
Yeah.
but it's like Ed and his dad have kind of like a confrontation,
Yeah,
right?
because his
Because
dad comes over and he's just like, "What is going on?" Like, you think a police car is gonna come over and I'm not gonna hear about it. Like, I was in the force.
Mhm,
Like, people, it's gonna get back to me that my son is beating up his wife. And
right.
he's just like, "Dad, you don't know what you're talking about." And he's just like,
Yeah.
"I didn't raise you to be an abusive, son." And he's like, "Oh, really? Because you
Mhm,
abused mom. I learned from mom because mom always covered up for you. And I'm exactly like
mhm,
her." And he's just like, "What do
mhm.
you mean?" And he's like, "Well, you get drunk and you knock her around. And then the next day she'd act like nothing happened." And he's like, "I do the same thing. I just cover up for Lori." And he's just like, not believing him. Like, he's just like, "There's no
Right. He's
way.
like,
There's no way."
no, he's like, there's no way. And then he's like, what goes on behind closed doors goes on behind closed doors, and you have kids to think about, and a
Yeah,
man
you better
honors
get
his
your act together.
responsibility.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's my favorite when like adult kids are like, you did this to me. And then the old parents are like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just like, complete, like poppycock. Like they just like make everything up. Like, it's just like,
I
come
just
on, guys.
How do people
You
live in
know?
that much denial? Like, how do people just go on in that much denial and be like, "That never happened," and it's like, it did. Like, it
I
happened.
know.
I
It's
don't
so
know.
different now. I seriously like feel like I apologize to my daughter like constantly. Like I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll try to do better. Like I'm like, and back then it was like,
Yeah.
you're making everything up. Like
Yeah, you're a big fat liar. And it's like, what is happening? I don't know.
so um okay. So then the dad's like, you're bigger than Lori. Like, what's wrong with you? And it's like, wow,
Yeah.
helpful. So
Like, that's the lamest
um
story I ever heard. Like, "Son, do you have any pride?" And he's just like, "Oh, okay." Like, you gotta go
right,
with
like
that.
it's okay if men hit their wives, but if like she hits, you better have a bunch of excuses. It's just
Yeah.
like,
You better
wow.
wail on her back and put her in her place. Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
very messed up thing.
So then he calls a shelter and they're like, yeah, you're a dude. Like, we can't talk to you or help you. And please stop prank calling us. Like, stop.
Yeah. So he's even like taking the time to find like a payphone outside of work
Mhm.
at the cannery and be like, "Can you please, like, what do I do?" And they're like, "You mean for your wife?" And he's like, "No, I mean for me." Yeah. They think it's a prank call. No one believes him. He's just like, "I'm stuck. Like, this is it. This is my life.
Yeah.
I just have to deal with it."
Yeah. So he goes to a strip club for the bachelor
You mean the
party.
cafeteria? Like, it was like a cafe. Like, it looked like they made eggs and bacon in the background. Like, I don't know.
They probably
There's a
do.
It's like Taco Bell and Pizza Hut combos. Like, you ever see those? Like the Taco Bell Pizza Hut. Like, that's how this town is
Yeah.
laid out. Like, they're just like, put the
I
cafe and the
love.
boob bar together. Like, combo it. Combo everything.
Yeah. It's a pretty serious stripping situation, though. Like, I was like, okay.
And she was like attractive. Like,
Yeah.
usually the people that are doing it, you're
Yeah.
just kind of like, yikes. But she was like, I was like, "Oh, that's a pretty girl up there. What's going on?"
I mean, they hired the best stripper at the tannery, clearly, for the bachelor party. So then his friend's like, no, don't leave my bachelor party. No. Like he's like 17 or something. It's like, wow, get a grip.
Oh
Um,
my gosh, yeah.
so Ed goes home and he tells, Lori like not to have too much wine, which usually if someone's gonna have too much wine and you say something, it's not gonna go well. If they've already decided that. And so then she's actually like, this is both of our faults.
Yeah.
Um, and he's like, let's go to therapy. And she's like, fick no. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to therapy. What
Yeah.
for?
She's like, "None of my family goes to therapy. Like, we just suffer in silence. Like, what is wrong
Right.
with you? How could you even suggest something so helpful and
Right.
ludicrous? Like, I don't think so." He's just like,
Right.
"Okay."
He's like, please get help. And there were some intense camera angles going on during this scene. Like
Yeah.
very handheld. Yeah. Very, very up close and personal.
How do they do it where like they go from room to room, but you're like in the wall so you can see like one room and then it like pans over to the next, but it's like you're going through like where the wall would be. Like, how do they do
So,
that?
well, this is a set. I noticed.
Oh.
And so, yeah, which that's a pretty impressive house for a set. And so they just, don't have a back wall. And
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
yeah, pretty good. And
Yeah.
so she's like, I'm not wasting money and telling people our business.
Right.
And leave everything for me to do. And like, he's like, you blame everything on me. And so this is just fascinating to me because like there's this book by Jancy Dunn
Mm.
and it's called How to Not Hate Your Husband After Having Kids. And like it's this audiobook that she reads. She's fabulous. She was like a Rolling Stone reporter and like wrote for
Oh.
a bunch of magazines. But
Yeah.
it's really interesting because she talks about how she went to like the most renowned couples therapists and like interviewed them and then interviewed other couples and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But basically, it's just like so much of it is just communication. Again, if somebody's like prone to violence, they have to get help. But
Right.
like they're trying to hash it out. Like she's like, you leave everything for me to do. And he's like, you blame everything on me. And it's like
Right.
they don't have tools, like they don't have an outlet. And back then it was like you just get on with it. But like at what cost? Like
Yeah.
you get on with it, but how are you ever okay? And like
Right.
there were no resources, So
Yeah.
anyway, it's a really, really, really interesting, good book. And it's like very practical just in terms of like tools, because like the truth is like, especially for couples where, both people do work and there are children,
Yeah.
there's just so much, silent labor. There's so many things that like are never
Yeah.
even talked about. And it's like,
And I
how are
think,
people just like, okay?
yeah. And I think especially looking at the ages of the children, like I mean,
Yeah.
I love young kids. They're amazing, but like there's so much more physical energy spent with younger
Yes.
children. I mean,
Yeah.
like because they need you so much more to do everything, like change their diapers, get their food,
Yeah.
help the tantrums, help them learn coping skills. Like, not that you stop at a teenager, it's just some of the physical demands are less. So I think
Yeah.
that when you're like consistently getting a better night's sleep and things like that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
can be like way different in how you feel with your spouse than when everyone is sleep deprived. Everybody is also then working, you're on edge. It's
Right.
just so many things coming in. I mean, like, it's just, that's a very unique time because I can definitely say when Elise was younger, there was in some ways, for a lot of other reasons, but like there was, because we were so tired, it was just
Yeah.
like there was way more going at each other because for the simple reason of you're tired and you just don't have
Yeah.
the ability to be like, let's calm down here because you're
Right.
exhausted.
Yeah. It's so true. It's like my mom always says, like, sleep deprivation is a torture technique for a reason. Like, it's literal torture.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
make the same decisions when you are getting better sleep than you do when you are sleep deprived. Like, it's just, that's
Right.
just the reality of it. So I think the fact that their kids are, one's a toddler, one's maybe kindergarten, first grade, like that's
Yeah.
that's hard. That's just hard in and of itself.
It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And also to not have anything to really relate to be like, okay, this is temporary.
Right.
Like now, if you go on Instagram, there's like 8,000 videos that are like, this is temporary. Let's laugh
Yeah.
about it. Let's, reenact
Yeah.
how stupid this was. Back then, it was like, you're alone. And like,
Yeah, this
you
is
just
your
have to deal with
forever.
it.
Yeah, this is your forever.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
So-
think unless you had a nice circle of moms to like talk with or, a group to get together with. And for all intents and purposes, it doesn't seem like Lori has that. It doesn't seem like she has friends or anything outside of her family. And half her family
Right.
is super toxic.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I thought that was a really interesting scene because it's like they're both trying to get it out and they can't, and it doesn't even go anywhere. And so this is when she gets physical with the kid, right?
Well, yeah, they're like starting to fight each other again, or Lori's just losing her mind. I don't know. There's just a lot of things going on. And the little girl comes down and she's like, Mommy, just stop being mean to Daddy. Like, I love you, but like, please stop. And she's just like, don't you ever talk to me like that. Like, I'm your mother. Like, you respect me. And then she like slaps the daughter super hard. I mean, it was like, it was not, I mean, I would.
It's like how she slaps Ed.
Yeah.
You know?
Truthfully. Yeah. Like, it was a bad one. Like, it was. And so, of course, the little girl's crying. And that's when the dad was like, that's it. Like, you put your hand on our child, I'm going to kill you. And I would be the same way. I would be like, you can hit me all day long, but you touch my child, our child, I'm going to kill you. Like, I don't even think, I think you just go from rage. I think you just see stars. I don't even think you are thinking, you are just like protecting. And he just starts hitting her. He's pissed. He's enraged. He's protecting his child. Like, everything is coming out in this moment. All this pent up emotion is just coming out of Ed, and he is overpowering her. I mean, she is getting hurt. And then they like do that dramatic, like, I'm like, why do they always have to go through a window? Like, every every made for TV movie, someone's going through a window, like in these abuse scenes. Like,
if the window is a real thing.
Yeah. So they like go through the window and he like lands on top of her. Like, basically Lori breaks his fall. And so she's like unconscious, hanging on to life. He's like, oh no. Like, and he's like, Lori, like, wake up, Lori. And she's not responding. Yeah. So he yells to the daughter, which is like, I'm like, this poor kid. He's like, call 911. And she does. And that's kind of,
she's traumatized forever.
Yeah, it's over. So she, that's kind of like where you get to like where the flashback was in the beginning of the film, like why the cops were called. And so they're there and he's immediately, well, he brings the kids over to the grandfather because he has the time to go over there, which is interesting to me that they wouldn't arrest him right away, because I was like, doesn't it kind of seem like he like almost killed her? Like, would he be arrested immediately?
Yeah. I mean, I guess once again, they do things that don't make sense. So then the little girl finally tells the grandpa that mom's abusive. And, you know, the grandpa's like, oh, damn, like, whoops, I'm sorry. Like,
she comes in and she's like, how's mom? He's like, I hope she'll be okay. Like, he's so like not helpful in anything. Yeah. He's just like, well, hopefully she'll hold on. But he's just like, Mommy beat up Dad. And like, she's telling him everything. And he's like, like you said, he's just like, wait, what? Everything my son said was true?
Right. I was like, wow. Okay. So, then, you know, the cops are like, okay, well, you know, you're free. I mean, and Lori's in really bad shape still.
Yes. Yeah.
And then his friend is like, oh, sorry. You know, like, everyone's sorry now.
Sorry,
so that's good.
You until Lori almost died. Like, my bad.
Right. So then the friend is like, you know, press charges if you want to get custody. And then the friend's like, you know what? We're just going to have the same wedding that you had with the same dance. Right?
Totally. He's like, you're still going to be my best man, right? This guy is the worst best friend. Because even Ed is like in there and he's like, dude, I can't talk about this right now. Like, Lori is sitting next to me holding on for dear life. I got the cops at the back door trying to arrest her while she's unconscious. And you're talking about like your wedding. Like, can I have a moment to think? And I think he even says that. He's like, I need to think, man. Like, I'll still be your best man, but like, good grief, get out of here. Like, he's just like, okay.
The friend now would be played by like Zach Galifianakis, right?
Oh my gosh, totally, yes.
So,
oh my gosh, yes.
They're gonna have the same wedding, and I'm like, if you have the same wedding, your wife might be abusive. I know. Be careful.
Well, they're like, everything's draped. I think she's wearing whatchamacallit, Lori's dress even. Like everything is the same. I mean, it's beautiful. It's like Celtic almost. Like I was like, is this like a Celtic wedding? Like it was like they're doing jigs. Everybody knows how to like do this like Irish dance. The kids, did you notice like the little girl's hair is like in those like Irish braids and stuff like that? I'm like, who knew how to do that? Like this guy he should work at the cut and curl. Like what's going on here? Everyone's like having, a good time. And then his friend who sucks is like, you don't have to give the speech. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to give the speech. I'm your best man.
Like, why am I here?
Can you say anything correct? Can you do anything right for me? Thanks.
Yeah. So he gives the speech, right? And then like Lori shows up and it's like, is she crashing this wedding? Or like,
well, she looks not great. I mean, her hair is flat, which for her, that's like the first time ever. And I was like, wow, when was this wedding outside of when she was in the hospital? Like, it must have been, I thought it was really close together, but.
Yeah. Because he had the bachelor party.
Yeah, he had the bachelor. Although maybe that was a Saturday night. I don't know. You can't tell in that town. But she's somehow there.
Yeah.
It's like what Kate Gosselin said in John and Kate Plus 8. She's like, every day is exactly the same and a little bit different. I was like, that's so true.
Yeah. Wow.
I know. I didn't think I'd get a
TV movie coming.
I know. I didn't. Oh my gosh, the hair for that. I didn't think I'd get a Kate Gosselin in this podcast, but I did. I can check that off my bingo card. Wait till I talk about Degrassi. So, anyways, I know that's a deep wound for me. So he's just like giving this like very like wonderful speech. Like he's just like, if I could give any marriage advice, which I'm not really like, I shouldn't be up here giving that, which is like, okay, dude, like give yourself some credit. But he's just like, I'd say listen to each other, love each other, protect each other. And she's just like watching him like in the background, like all wide eyed, like, what is he doing? And he sees her, which like, how freaking triggering is that? Could you imagine? Like, I'd be like, Lori, how'd you get out of the hospital? Like, what's going on? Like, did you cut the IV? Like, how are you here? And
plus there's no car. So how did she get there?
And how did anyone... How did anyone not... She's like hitchhiking. How did anyone not notice her? Wouldn't your family automatically be like, get out. Like you are not welcome here. Like you are like, there would be, I'm sorry, a bunch of like Irish people, there'd be definitely anger. Like people would be like, get out. Like it would be chaos. But he just like saunters over like this is normal. And he's just like, hey, Lori. And she's like, Ed, all your stuff is gone at the house. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, no kidding. And she's like, well, all the kids' stuff is gone. And he's like, yeah, I know. I'm getting us an apartment. And she's like, well, when are you coming home? And he's like, I'm not. And she's like, what do you mean? And he's like, Lori, listen, like, I love you. I still will always love you. But like, I've never been enough for you. I tried, and you need help. If you're willing to talk to somebody, then we can revisit this marriage. But right now I have to protect me and those kids. You need help. Right. And I was like, what a loving way to put it. I mean, how else can you say it? Like he says everything calmly, lovingly, matter-of-factly. And she has that like moment where she could have like turned around and redeemed it and been like, okay, I'll get help. And she probably would have helped her get help. But instead, she's like, pride is just her worst enemy because she's just like, no, it's both of our faults. What you made me the way that I am. And he's like, Lori, I tried. I worked more. I did more things. I did the stuff I thought you wanted, but I was never going to be enough for you. And so I'm going to have to let you go because if I'm not good enough, then we shouldn't be together. And if you're not going to get help, this isn't going to work. And she's just like stunned.
She's stunned. My favorite thing he says is like, it's not my job to fix everything I used to think was my job.
Yep.
And I was like, shout out, codependent no more, Melody Beattie. It's so true.
Yeah,
Like that
it
was
is.
huge.
I
Huge
think
for him to say.
I think realizing, especially with your spouse, that you're not their happiness, takes a lot of reflection and maturity, because I think there's definitely this kind of, when you go in, like, as long as we love each other, we'll make each other happy. And it's just like, sometimes you're never meant to make somebody happy. Like, you're meant to be together, and like, you bring happiness to each other, but like, you're not meant to, like, you cannot fulfill that hole. And I just think that, they were looking in all the wrong places. And
Yeah.
it was a really good movie. However, okay, they ended there and it was good. But in my mind, I was like, okay, so she's not getting help and he's taking the kids.
Yeah.
Is she going to come after him and kill him? Like, where did the story end?
Seriously. Well, because she's like, what are you going to tell people? And he says, I'm telling the truth.
I'm telling the truth. You're right.
And it's like, that's the thing. And this was around the same time as Unforgivable. And it's like, the difference is with Unforgivable, it was like they separated.
Yes.
The husband was kind of like forced into getting help because he lost everything, and they reconciled. And, it's like he was willing to put down his ego to get help. And it's like, Lori was not.
She was not. No.
And so it's like, it was, and because this is based on true events, but it's not based on a particular family. It's like, we don't know, but Lori not getting help, I mean, who knows? It could have led to like estrangement with her children even down the road, or like not, even really having that much contact, or more violent outbursts or whatever. So, it was a pretty somber ending. Like, there wasn't really a path forward.
No. But I think that was really good to show, because I think that is, again, realistic. There's just sometimes not a happy ending with relationships, unfortunately. And sometimes there's just not, if the person's not willing to get help, what are you supposed to do? He had children. He needed to protect them. He needed to protect himself. I mean, that's just what you do. He was a good dad. He was flawed. He did things in the marriage. Yeah. It's not like Lori was completely like, her anger was off base. It's just that she was too prideful, and she didn't find ways to communicate and to safely express her feelings. And when her husband even was like, let's talk to a therapist then. Like, let's get, what we're doing isn't working, Lori. She was like, no, you don't do that. Like, it's just a sad story all around. And Lori had a lot of stuff that she needed to fix before she ever got married. That's what I think.
Well, I think too, and that's what makes it even sadder, is like, she was like a functioning person in so many ways. So if she could have just accepted like help, it could have perhaps been like redeemable. But like, I mean, it was like, she wasn't just like a total mess all the time, So it's very, very unfortunate.
I think it would be really interesting if people were required. I know this is just like hypothetical, but like, if people were required to get, I know there's like couple counseling, but like, what if people were required to do like parenting counseling, in the sense of like, before you have a marriage, you have to think about how you were like raised. And then like, because I think a lot of people go into relationships so young, especially then, and they don't know like red flags of stuff that they've grown up with, because we all come from things that are hard. Like, no family is perfect. And so it's like, well, what things stood out that like you want to make sure you're keeping an eye on? Like, her mom was obviously a very narcissistic, like manipulative, selfish person. And she projected that onto Lori. And it's like, if Lori would have known, like, that wasn't her fault, that she was being brought up that way, like, how that much could have been like helpful for the marriage. I mean, no one can go into a marriage perfect. Like, that's not what I'm saying, but it would just be interesting to see if like that was part of like schooling, you know, like as a kid.
Yeah.
Like if it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, these are red flags you should like look for. If they're in your home, make sure you're aware of them. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree. Like a chance to just kind of clean yourself up before like committing to somebody like that. And like
Yeah.
how we always talk about, like, you know, they always say you only learn how to be human like in treatment, which is like really messed up. Like you
Yeah.
should have, you know, opportunities to like learn about yourself and
Yeah.
be able to process some things.
Yeah. And like in the Bible, there's like a thing, they always talk about like the sins of your father, how it goes back like 7 generations. And it's like, so if there's like narcissism in your family and it's carrying throughout these generations, because it's just almost like in your DNA, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like
Yeah.
continued sin over and over and over again. It's like, I always tell Elise, I'm like, let's look at what's been generational here. Like what's generational in our families, you know, so that we can like
Yeah.
stop the process. Like we can stop it continuing on.
Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah, because if you look back,
So
a lot of your family has the same issues that a lot of families deal with throughout the years, you know, like alcoholism,
absolutely.
this, that, and the other. It carries on.
It does. Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, like we always say too, like you need licenses for many things, but not that.
Yeah.
So some stats that I pulled just from the Bureau of Justice Statistics between 1993 and even 2001, violence against men fell by 42%.
Oh,
And it says in 93, there were
fell?
approximately, it fell 42% between 1993 and 2001.
Okay.
So that's just against men, I guess, because I was
Okay.
looking up men, you know, research.
Okay.
And the number of men murdered by intimate partners dropped by 68% between 1976 and 2000. So that's quite a decrease. Men make up a smaller proportion of intimate partner violence compared to women, though the proportion has remained relatively stable. So in 2001, intimate partners committed 3% of non-fatal violence against men, while for women, intimate partner violence made up 20% of all non-fatal violent crime. And then, you know, organizations like the CDC and the National Domestic Violence Hotline indicate that 1 in 4 men have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's like high.
yeah. So the statistics show a significant decrease in the rate of domestic violence since 1993, a trend that parallels the decline in domestic violence against women and general violent crime in the U.S. So that's the thing. It's surprising because it's really still not discussed.
I guess it'd be interesting to know what they count also as abuse in that statistic.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is it someone continuously slapping, punching, throwing? Is it one time where someone threw something at somebody? Like, I always wonder, like, what counts as like, oh, that was like a bad argument versus this is like abuse. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the line?
I don't know. I mean, part of it's like, what is the damage after, which is like so sick. But it's like if a wife pushes her, if a wife shoves her husband,
Yeah.
it could be a lot different than if a husband shoves his wife.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
And
Because,
so it's like,
yeah.
what's the overall damage? I mean, in reality, nobody should be shoving anybody.
Right. Right.
But it's like, even men are conditioned to like be like, it's not a big deal.
Right. And like in films, when a woman is disgusted by a man, it's totally
Yeah.
approved that you slap him in the face. Like it's seen as
Yeah.
heroic. Like you stood up for
Right.
yourself. But
Or
it's
like
like
throw
if
a drink at him.
Yeah. But if a man
Yeah.
comes and hits a woman in the face, he's an abuser automatically.
Yeah.
Like how dare he ever do that? Even if she's yelling, screaming, whatever, you just never
Right.
do that. So I just think that that's what do they count is abuse? Like, what's the line? And yeah, I mean, none of it should happen. That's besides the point. I just think it would be interesting to know like how they count things, you know? I don't know.
Well, it's interesting too, like with like more fluid, you know, like gender roles changing, you know what I mean? Or even like same sex relationships. It's like a lot of that just doesn't apply anymore. So eventually it'll probably evolve to the point where it's like, just keep your hands to yourself. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a penis or a vagina or whatever you have going on. Just don't touch somebody with violence.
Else. Yes. Like, I saw a thing where like they were like, if your toddler hits, instead of being like, don't do that, stop it, you should say to them, we don't use our hands for hitting. We use them for clapping. We use them for giving a high five. We use them for giving a hug. So you're redirecting the behavior. So it's like, if you feel like hitting somebody, just give them a high five, you know? Give yourself a hug, like take a few breaths and walk away. Like, I don't think it should be glorified anymore that a woman slaps a man in the face when he's been horrible. No. Why can't you just be like, you've been horrible and I don't want anything to do with you? I think that's just as effective. It's slapping somebody. It's degrading. It's degrading on both sides.
It's degrading.
That's what it is. It's not funny. It's not cute. Like, that needs to be cut from films and social media immediately, because that's just such a twisted message, you know?
It is. I mean, really, like any sort of response with violence or violent intentions, there just really is no place for, especially with everything going on right now in this country. It's just like, we don't need it. We don't need it.
Don't need any extra drama. Like, save the drama for your mama. Like, we do not need anything else adding to this. And just so everybody knows in the world, we do not support all this crazy going on. Americans are not cheering. Majority of us are appalled. So if you're listening from another country and like all those Americans, I'm so sorry. And not all of us are happy about what's happening. So please know that. I just feel like I have to say that because it's embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing what's going on.
It is embarrassing. And honestly, like, if you are in a place that's demonstrating very strong humanity, like, we applaud you, because
oh my gosh, 100%. And just please know
keep it going.
That I think a lot of things in this country have been rigged. I don't think this is the sentiment of most people. And if they are, then they should listen to this podcast more than anybody, because they need to watch these films and realize who hurt them so they stop hurting others. And that's what I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Hurt people. So
that's right.
Yes. But this was a great film. Very well made and really important still to this day. So I definitely recommend tuning in. And, you know, as mentioned, we have quite the lineup this year. Yes. And thank you again. Please continue to listen, comment, share with your friends. We are still looking for recommendations if you have any. And thank you for growing us to where we are. It has been a really, really fun journey.
It really has. I just love that there's so many people from all different places tuning in. It's just really special. And I hope that you just get a smile and you learn something and we just all grow together, and just that people just be kind to one another. That's all I can say. That's my goal this year, is just to be kinder overall in any way that I can.
Be kind. Yeah. Take a deep breath and be kind.
Yeah. And listen to our podcast.
Yeah. Listen to our podcast. We love you so much. And we will chat soon. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.